Hi. I'm not going to do the whole spiel because this is a very serious video. I got an email. They didn't say if I could say their name or not, so I'm just going to leave them anonymous. And after I read this email, before I give you my thoughts, I'm going to tell you about this group that she mentions. And remember, this is a serious video. If you're triggered by anything, don't watch this. Like, I'm serious. Like, please do not watch this because this is really dark and I almost started crying when reading it. And I know I look green. It's the lighting. I had to wait till my dad went to bed because this isn't stuff I want my dad hearing me talking about. So anyway, I wanted to tell you about something tragic that happened to me. A month ago, my boyfriend committed suicide because he was being cyberbullied by psychos on the internet. This group calls themselves Mgtow, or Men Going Their Own Way. He was relentlessly being attacked because we were together, and this group is sexist and hates women. He stood up for me, and they didn't like that. So they began doing sickening things to him. They swatted his home, made him look like a pedophile, and even made him look like he was a homosexual. I want to add, I don't have any problem with the LGBT community, but they were making it seem like he was cheating on me with other men. They would call him a comber, C-O-O-M-E-R, and tell him he wasn't interested in me because he would be online combing to CP. They called the police on him, accusing him of being a school shooter named Sam Hyde, and the SWAT team barged into his house and arrested him at gunpoint. They released him on bail. At that point, he phoned me saying he loved me, but quickly hung up. The next day, his mother called me and told me he had hung himself. This is the worst time I've been through, and I wanted to get this off my chest. This sickening group called Mgtow need to be accountable for what they have done. So that's the email, obviously keeping her anonymous, and that was a very hard thing for her to do, and I want to commend her. She's very brave for sharing her story, and I'm sending love and everything good in the world to happen to her. I do want to say this group is called Men Going Their Own Way. This is how they describe themselves. This is like their mission statement. Men going their own way is a statement of self-ownership where the modern man preserves and protects his own sovereignty above all else. Sovereignty means power, by the way. It is the manifestation of one word, no, ejecting silly preconceptions and cultural definitions of what a man is. Looking to no one else for social cues, refusing to bow, serve, and kneel for the opportunity to be treated like a disposable utility, and living according to his own best interests in a world which would rather he didn't. Now that sounds friendly. That sounds fine. That sounds like trying to build men up, which we should be building everybody up. But if you go on their website, which I am on and want to get off as quick as I can, you go to their forums. This is where men talk to each other. And I went to relationships, right? There's literally a reason why I'm doing this. And then I went to the very first one, which says 25 lies women tell men. I'm going to read to you not the article, but the comments of what some of these people say. This happened to me. 14. I have to go out of town on business. Translation. I'm having an affair with someone from out of town, or I'm going on a trip with my boss with whom I'm having an affair. I will archive your article for my son. These were all fantastic, and thank you for sharing. However, you could have stopped the above, and no one would have ever criticized you, ever. God, haven't we all heard this one? Once they say this, I'm outro. Why waste my time on them, especially when they're giving it to someone for free? And that one they said, I like you as a friend. That's what they said it actually means. I can think of a lot more than 25. 26, I'm a good worker. 27, I like working. 28, I'm not a party girl. 29, I'm never on Facebook. 30, I'm a tomboy. 31, I work out a lot. 32, I'm busy. 33, I would love to. 34, I'm losing weight. Those are other lies he thought of that women say. They won't be outliving us much longer when they have all the stress of taking care of themselves. They're already losing ground, and it's 7 years, not 10. But that is skewed too because men are overwhelmingly in high-risk jobs. And women aren't. Some people are prostitutes. That's a high-risk job. They can get hurt by trying to make a living. Women work in factories too, you know. Duh. 35. This is what someone said is a lie. He raped me. As a survivor of sexual assault, I find that very, very rude. And you need to remove yourself off the internet. They're also called Can't Stump Trump, with a picture of Donald Trump. I'm not even going to get into that. He'll be a whole different video. 36. My Facebook profile pic is really me. 37. I'll never stop you from visiting your kids. 38. Sure, honey, you can buy that motorcycle and I'll never complain. This one is one I've heard numerous times. 39. We already talked about this and we settled it then. Of course I swallow every time. For the younger viewers, please do not ask what that means. Just let it happen. Please do not ask what that means. You will be traumatized. I'm a newcomer here, yet to make my introduction post due to my college term papers, but this is the main thing I hope to teach my 1.5-year-old son the truth about relationships. How are you going to teach a 1.5-year-old kid? They won't understand what you're saying. And if he means just his son when he gets older, he should specify that. You know, if you're in college, I would think you were smarter than that. And I think you would be smarter than to join this group. As I said above, I am yet to tell my story in an introduction post, but this happened to me. What happened to you? I want you to be successful. When I say that, I mean it. When I hear this one, I reply, true, men only want one thing, but it's better than woman who want everything. I think he meant women, not woman. All men ever think about is sex, is what he said that too. Men think about sex a little more than women do. That's actually a scientific fact. Look it up. He's just a friend. There's nothing going on. You have to trust me. This one makes me mad because I have more guy friends than girlfriends. So this one makes me mad because I had a friend and I was dating this one guy. And every time I said goodbye to my friend, I would say, I love you, which I say to all my friends. And he was in a different state. And so then my boyfriend thought I was cheating on him with this friend just because I said I love you. I can't summarize all of that into one. I don't lie. Well, this goes for men as well, but you get the point. You know who doesn't lie? An asshole. If someone is not an asshole, they lie. I thought you thought all women were assholes. I'm really honestly so confused by that comment. Women lie a lot. Even when they're caught with evidence, they still lie. They're a stupid race that only thinks about themselves. You want a hellish life? Date a woman. I actually did date a woman. It wasn't a hellish life. It was drama. But every relationship is going to have drama. You need to know how to work through the drama to have a healthy relationship. And many people who are married do. I think most of these guys, okay, so my sister did research earlier and we found out that most of these guys are anti-feminist, anti-women, yada, yada, yada. But we also found out that a lot of guys who join here can't get a woman and that's why they're in here. Also, I found this on Wikipedia, but it's actually real. The leader said that his videos that he made that I don't want to watch says he proclaimed his bitter, indiscriminate hate towards women. He says that women are all manipulative whores and liars. And he slut shames, fat shames, and age shames us. So basically why, and they also only have casual sex or sex with a prostitute. But here's the thing. If you hate women and you don't want to get married and you want to be celibate, why are you having sex? It's still a woman. Unless these are male prostitutes, which would make you all gay. But it seems like you're against the LGBT community. So I know, it's like I'm going in on these people and trying to ruin their lives, which technically you wouldn't be wrong if you said I was. But I'm just trying to bring awareness to this. So send this video to your favorite YouTubers, whether it's Kendall Ray, Jesse V, anybody that you watch, like Connor Franta, Dan and Phil, Philip DeFranco. Send this to Philip DeFranco. Just get people with big followings to talk about it, because this is something serious. And if you agree with this group and you want to join them, fuck you. I don't need your stupidity here. Sorry for using bad language. I feel very strongly about this. But they think that they deride feminists as social justice warriors. So they think that feminism gives women too much power, and things like that. And I know that a lot of women are scrutinized every day, but like this just makes it seem like it's okay. It's not okay to scrutinize anybody, man, woman, teen, black, white, you know, Asian. It's not okay to scrutinize anybody. It's not okay to be racist. It's not okay to be sexist. It's honestly, if there were no racist and sexist people, the world would be an amazing place. And I want to live in a place like that. Maybe I could speak on sexism, but I'm not the right person to speak on race, because I obviously don't know the struggles of other races, because I don't go through that. This went in a whole different direction. I'm sorry. But yeah, so these guys are basically saying that women are like no good. And I think somewhere it even said that a lot of them think that women would be better off dead. Or they want all women to die or something. If you see the light change, it's because my laptop's closed. This is much better lighting. I do want to say my thoughts now. My thoughts on this is, I think it's absolutely disgusting that these people would do this. I mean, especially with relentlessly attacking people because they're in a happy relationship together makes no sense. Just because they don't like women doesn't mean they should be attacking people in a relationship. And just because the boyfriend stands up for his girlfriend, that's usually what happens. That doesn't give anybody the right to go after. For those of you who don't know what swatting is, it's actually a very big problem. Basically, they call a SWAT team to somebody's house and they call them saying, oh, they're holding people hostage, or they're doing some horrible, unspeakable thing, or, oh my gosh, they're holding my family hostage. They usually make up some insane thing, like insane crime, and say this person is committing it. And then when the SWAT team knocks down your door, like breaks into your house, and it's the SWAT team with the huge guns. Like they go into your house and they're following up on a lead, and then they find out that, oh, it was a prank. Swatting is a huge thing and nobody is talking about it. And I think that I should make a whole different video about it. But swatting is something that's terrifying for somebody to go through. And that's just awful that they would swat this person. Like, and it's scary to think that anybody can swat you. They don't even have to be in the same state. Like, anybody can swat you at any time. And it's terrifying to think that. As long as they know the number for, like, as long as they know what state you live in and they know the number to contact your SWAT team, they can call them and get them to swat you. It's terrifying. That's why talking about these people, I'm taking every precaution and I'm being very careful. Made him look like a pedophile. I don't necessarily know how they would do that, but that's not okay. Obviously, people who are pedophiles should obviously pay for what they do. You don't want to make somebody look like a pedophile. That means you obviously have nothing to do with your life. This person is just trying to live their life And that's just something awful. Like, seriously awful. Making somebody look like they're a homosexual is very hard, actually. If somebody, okay, for instance, this was their boyfriend. How can you make somebody who's dating a female look like they're a homosexual? That's not really something that's easy. I don't think they really had any leverage or really any leg to stand on in this fight. Because, I mean, and having no problem with the LGBT community. I mean, honestly, I'm part of the LGBT community, but I'm not gonna, like, put it out there and, like, you know, I mean, I just don't see how, like, why they would spend their time trying to tell you that he's cheating on you with other men, but I also don't know why they would spend their time trying to convince him he's a homosexual. That just doesn't seem like a good way to spend your time. So calling someone a comer, I didn't know what this meant when I first read the email. I looked it up, and you guys can look it up if you want to, COOMER. But telling you that he's not interested in you. A good thing to keep in mind is if somebody is dating you, that means they're interested in you. That means that they want to spend their time with you, that they love you, that they, you know, want to be around you. So no matter what anybody says, this person wants to be with you if they're dating you. Yeah. Okay, they called the police, accusing him of being a school shooter. Well, when you said that the police arrested him at gunpoint, okay, so again, it's very scary when people can call the police and accuse you of being somebody. It's very scary that somebody is able to have enough power over you to do that. A good thing is make sure that nobody knows, like, what state you live in or, like, any identifying information about you. That's why I always warn people, never put your location on your Instagram photos and things like that. Like, take off your location on Snap Maps, things like that. But I got stalked through Snapchat, but that's a story for another time. But basically, that's why I tell people, be very careful not to let strangers on the internet be able to find out where you are, because they will do things like this and accuse you of being a school shooter or a runaway fugitive or an arsonist or something, and the police will come and arrest you. And you might get out on bail, but they would still arrest you. So I can't exactly know what you're going through. I've never had somebody that I've dated take their own life. That's awful. I honestly don't know what that feels like. I did have a friend that did, but I honestly don't know the feelings of somebody very, very close to you doing that, and that's awful, and I'm still very, very sorry that that happened. I do want to say, I do agree that men going their own way need to be held accountable, and so I'm gonna say what I said the first time I made this video. Well, not the first time. That makes no sense. The beginning part of this video, I cannot think. It is late. I'm going to say what I said at the beginning of this video. Go to your favorite YouTubers. Philip DeFranco, Kendall Ray, Mile Higher Podcast, Jenna and Julian. YouTuber news podcast, Pop Buzz, anybody that has a big following. You can even go to Connor Franta, Shane Dawson, like anybody that has a big following, go to them and tell them about this group, especially Philip DeFranco and Shane Dawson. They will definitely do something. Kendall Ray probably will too. Those three you should definitely try to get in touch with. Spam them if you have to. But people should know about what's going on. And my sister back there brought up a good point, whereas I don't care who you support, whether it's Trump or God knows. But because of the world that we live in today and the type of things that President Trump will say, make some people think it's okay for them to do things like this. And it's not. It's never okay for somebody to do something like this. You can keep yourself anonymous on the internet, but people are going to find out who you are. So, and if you guys want to take matters into your own hands, I don't suggest you contact these people. Don't contact these people. These people are dangerous. If you can't tell by that email, these people are scary, dangerous. Do not put yourself in this situation. If you really want to get involved, go to the police. Tell the police about this. Show the police this video. If you want to try to get something done, let the police handle it. They're the ones with the protection, with the guns, they can go after these people and get them, arrested for these things. You do not have that. If you go in, these people could have weapons and they could hurt you. I'm telling you, please do not go after these people yourself, especially if you are a teenager. Do not do that. I know you think you're big on the world. Don't do that. My advice is just tell big social media YouTubers that usually talk about these topics, like Philip DeFranco, about this. I know I'm pushing Philip DeFranco, but he talks about everything. So these people can be his douchebags of the day. Go to Philip DeFranco, go to Kendall Ray, go to Shane Dawson, even Jeffree Star if you want to, I don't know, go to the police, show them this video. But I swear to God, I just think that something should be done about this. And I think that one of the ways to do this is to go straight to the police. So if I have permission from, Anonymous, who sent me this email, if I get permission from them to be able to do this, I may go to the police about this if I get permission, because obviously something needs to be done. And I mean, they're online. That's one of the scariest things, is we don't know if they can be caught because they have online usernames and personas and everything. But I wanted to give you guys some background and read that and give my deepest condolences and give you my thoughts. And these are my thoughts. But if I do get permission from Anonymous watching this video, well, first of all, I hope this video helped. And if you could let me know if it would be okay for me to take this to, someone who could possibly find these people and hold them accountable, I would be willing to do that, because I feel like justice should be served to these people and they should rot in prison for the rest of their lives. So I hope this video helped with getting things off your chest and closure in some way.